We absolutely love what we do. If you like what we do, why not buy us a coffee? Just follow the link in the description below.
It's deal days at Volkswagen, and by deal days, I mean that our numbers guy's away for the winter holidays, and we're offering signed and drive deals on new V-dubs, by which I mean cars made by Volkswagen. It's a classic case of while the cat's away, the mice will play, and by play, I mean offering sweet holiday deals on the most affordable German-engineered car brand. And by sweet holiday deals, I mean 0 down, 0 deposit, 0 first month's payment, and 0 due at signing, excluding tax, title, and other fees, on a new 2025 Tiguan, just in time for the holidays. But our numbers guy won't be on vacation forever. By not forever, I mean deal days, like the holidays themselves, is a limited time thing, and by limited time, I mean you better get your Tuckus into your VW dealership, and by Tuckus, I mean exactly what you think I mean. Volkswagen Deal Days. Claim based on U.S. market and MSRP information available at time of publication for 2025 and 2026 German-engineered vehicles. 0 due at signing, excluding tax, title, license, options, and dealer fees. No security deposit required. Example, $399 a month lease for 36 months for a 2025 Tiguan SE based on an MSRP of $33,045 with destination charges and excluding other noted exclusions. Limited inventory available. Closed-end lease financing available through January 5th, 2026 on approved credit to well-qualified customers by Volkswagen Credit through participating dealers. Offer not valid in Puerto Rico. See your Volkswagen dealer for details or call 1-800-DRIVE-VW.
DSW, birthplace of the humble brag. Here, the shoes are so good, no one would ever know how little you paid. If you didn't go telling everyone, that is. And with never-ending options for every style, mood, and occasion, all at really great prices. We'll definitely give you something to brag about. So go ahead, stock up on fresh sneakers from your favorite brands. Or try those boots you always secretly knew you could pull off. Find the shoes that get you at prices that get your budget at DSW stores or DSW.com.
And welcome. What a great start, isn't it? A welcome. Russ Hastings does not need... Do you prefer Russ or Russell, by the way, before we start?
It depends if it's a magistrate or not. Russ, I suppose. Yeah, Russ is cool for me. Everyone calls me Russ, yeah.
Yeah.
Only when I'm in trouble am I called Russell.
It's usually either that or your mum and your dad, isn't it, that call you by your full name.
Yeah, sure.
I mean, not Russell Hastings, of course I wouldn't. But anyhow, I'm waffling a little bit. Welcome to Under the Influence with From the Jam member, frontman, Mr. Russell Hastings. Russ, I've seen a wonderful video that you've done recently with Choose 80s. I think them girls are wonderful. Great interview, fabulous interview.
Yeah, they're good.
They touched upon Bruce, and they also touched upon the name. We're not going to go much into that, because if you want to go into that, go and check out those girls on YouTube, because it is truly fantastic. But I do want to mention a little bit about Bruce. You seemed really shocked when he started up on his own. I was shocked. And best of luck to him, because you are soul brothers, aren't you?
Yeah, without a doubt. You know, I've spent many years, 20 years with Bruce, and yeah, you know, he's very dear to me, you know, and I wouldn't like to see. Well, just wish him all the best. You know what I mean? I wish, well, more than wish him all the best. You know, I sent him a text yesterday. You know, lots of love. How you doing? And all that. You know, and yeah.
He's on tour next year. You're on tour as well.
Yeah.
And he's coming to Birmingham in January, early January. You're coming to Birmingham. I think, is it late June? It finishes your tour.
Yes, it does. That's right, in Birmingham. Yeah, in late June. Yeah, well remembered.
How do you find the Birmingham crowds, Russ?
Love them, because I'll tell you what, my ancestry comes from the Midlands.
Oh, right.
And so they're from Cannock and Wolverhampton, and that's on my mum's side. But I always like playing Birmingham. I've got a great memory of Birmingham, the academy at Birmingham, when we played there in 2007 with Rick. I was there. Rick and Bruce. Were you there? All right. Okay.
I told my missus, she complained that there was so much beer on the floor and it kept sticking. Yeah.
It's pretty much a shithole, really. Well, the floor is anyway, but that's a sign of a good gig. Yeah. And I went out after sound check, and then I remember walking around the town and not really knowing where I was. And then I got in a cab, and then I said to the cab driver, "The academy, please, mate." And he said, and he just pointed, and I went, "No," I said, "The academy, please, mate." And he pointed, and I looked out, and I was actually outside literally out the front of the academy. So I just got in one door and got out the other.
Well, it was quite a short ride.
Yeah, I didn't pay for anything.
Absolutely. It brings us nicely on to Back in the Room, because we're going to be all over the place on this. I don't have set I don't have a script. I look at things and then I go on to something. But back in the room, Ride, I remember when that come out, we was doing a lot of Biscuit Boys shows in those days. I think it was 2016, wasn't it? Wonderful Ride, and then Number 6. I thought that was a phenomenal album, as I do with all of your albums.
Thank you very much. Ride was we wrote that really with the intention of sort of trying to sell it onto a car program, I think.
Yeah.
You know, and then the track that got chosen was Window Shopping on Top Gear. And but you know, it was the first album that we did, and we did it at Paul's, obviously, and we recorded, from my memory, we recorded the whole album. That was in 2012. That was Back in the Room was.
Got ya.
And then we went there on an arranged day to be with Paul, and Paul said, "Look, I'll come in for the day. You've got me. You know, I'm all yours, basically. Play what, you know, I'll play on whatever." And he picked the tracks that he wanted to play on. I think he played on about 4. Yeah, he played 4 tracks on that album. Yeah, Coming On Strong. He played the piano on Number 6, which was a great single. Yeah, definitely. Nice little summer one. And I sort of wrote that in a very slow version of that. Is how I wrote that to start with. And then when we kicked it around in the studio, it turned out to come out the way it did. But I was very pleased.
How come the title track, Number 6, any reference to
My House? My House. That was the number. That was because it's all about. I'd done up a house, and my wife said to me at the time, "I think we should move." And I said, "Oh, I can't move, not right now. We're right in the middle of an album." And so we were in the studio. Charles Reese, Paul's engineer, had said, "What's this, the working title of it?" I said, "It's called This Old House." And he said, "Well, you can't say that." He said, "That's fucking Shaking Stevens." I went, "Yeah." He said, "What number is it?" I went, "Number 6." And he put Number 6, as in Number 6. And it stuck. And that was it. And that's it. That's the story behind it.
It's a proper earworm. It really gets inside, don't it? And it makes those like eardrums dance. It makes every part of your body dance. I think the whole album does. I think your 3 albums are, without blowing too much smoke up your arse, I think they're absolutely phenomenal.
Thank you very much.
Under the influence, and I've put a playlist. I've got an hour and a half. I put an hour and a half because that's how long a football match lasts. Are you into football, Russ? I mean,
I'm not really. No, I'm not.
So, like, Saturday Kids, I mean, that's what it, you know, Tesco's and Woolworths and all that.
Yeah.
The Sound Effects album, it's, 45 years old on the 28th of November, isn't it? 1980. It come out.
Remembered.
5 days after my 16th birthday, because you're 61
I'm 61 next year, yeah.
July, isn't it? Early July.
Yeah, that's right. July 6th, yeah.
So from the Jam, I mean, obviously you're going to keep your name because it is the music from the Jam. You are from the Jam. Call yourself what you like, but I think it's a great title. It just says what it is.
Yeah.
What's it like being up there from the Jam, the lead singer? You played a role, obviously, of Paul, but you play as Russell Hastings.
Yeah,
you don't pretend to be Paul. I think your vocal cords are very similar. I listen to a lot of songs and I think, if Paul was singing that, it would be really, really similar. And your harmonies would be great because I love Bruce, the way that he does the backing vocals as well.
Sure.
You really connect like what Paul did with Bruce as well. So I think that's something special.
Yeah, I think that's what makes it work, really. And it's all because it was so organic. And it really was very organic, the way that it came about. You know, my vocals, because I come from the same part of the world, I suppose, as Paul, and it's the only vocal that I knew, you know, it is my vocal. And I guess it wasn't an attempt to sound like Paul at all. There may be some phrasing, but that's because of the phrasing of the song. But yeah, I mean, that's about it. It's funny, when I was talking to Paul about that, Paul thought that it was Bruce singing.
Right, okay.
originally. He went, oh, I didn't notice you on lead vocals. When we took it into the studio, he said, I thought that was Bruce. And I was like, I couldn't work that one out. But
No, I mean, it's very different, Bruce is saying to us, because on all of the albums, Bruce does take lead on some of the tracks, doesn't
yeah,
he?
he
Now,
does.
you wrote all of the songs, didn't you, for
Yeah,
the three albums?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Because if I'm right, Bruce wrote News in the World for the Jam and Smithers
Yeah.
Jones. And
Yeah.
then when that album first come out, I thought, fucking hell, Bruce has like started writing songs. And then when Smash the Clock come out, I thought, Jesus, the bloke's really got his shit together because he's written some fantastic songs. But then I've realised recently that it's you that's wrote it. Who wrote the music? Is that something that you both done together?
Yeah, me. So I would write it and then send it off to Bruce,
Yeah.
and then he would put a bass line on it and send it back to me. And because of modern technology, because we can, and then we take it in the studio and kick it around, and then I think at first there was more of a collaboration originally. Because I was up against the wall, it was all, there was a quite pressurized gig to have, to write an album that's at Paul's that's gonna, be judged, I suppose, as to against the rest of the band, I guess the past history. So, I mean, there are some. Let me say, there are some really good songs. I think there are some really good songs on that album. There's some fillers on there that I listen to now. If I was to listen to it and think, well, I could have done this with that, and but that's always the way when you look back, I'm sure.
Yeah, I think you should look back with very fond and proud memories because I think it's phenomenal. The Jam sound effects. I'm looking at that picture. Is that Brighton 1982, your top picture there?
Where about? Up there?
Yeah.
Oh, no, that's the Academy. No, that's... I'll tell you where that is. That is up the junction. Oh, God. I can't remember. It's in London, anyway.
No, because it's in black and white there, and I can't really see much, and it does look like... Because wasn't you at the last gig of the Jam?
I was, yeah, and if you look on the last of the BBC, there's a picture of it. I think there's a picture of me in the crowd, a close-up, yeah.
By the way, a great song as well, In the Crowd. What song from the Jam got you really connected? What hooked you in?
What, a Jam song?
Yeah, definitely.
Well, my brother turned me on to In the City, and because he came home with a Pistols album, Never Mind the Bollocks, of course, which is what everyone had older brothers, and most people had older brothers, were turned on to like the Stranglers first, really.
Yeah, and
then I heard In the City, and then I remember sort of having a bit of a missing period but listening to the Modern World, and really getting switched on to like Here Comes the Weekend and things like that, and the Modern World track, and then really, if I'm honest, I was hooked with All Mod Cons.
Yeah. I love totally. Standards.
Yeah, great track. Yeah, great track.
A lot of people thought he's like Churchill, didn't they? Winston.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
But a great. I mean, it was Big Brother, and he's written some fantastic songs. Your main influences growing up musically, Russ.
Yeah.
Who were they? What were they?
They were 70s stuff, really. Yeah. I was a very I had a track called Oh Bloody, Oh Blood Ah, 1969, the Beatles. My mum went and got it for me. I was 4 years of age, and then I was. I don't know whether I was an odd kid or listening to music early, but I used to record Top of the Pops, so I could 1970, 71, 72. And then through that period in 74, 75, just listening to all sorts of stuff. And then I remember listening to, George Harrison, and listening to Here Comes the Sun, and all those sorts of tracks. Just too many stuff to mention, really. But then, when, of course, when the Pistols come along, it sort of, it really was a divided line. There was an absolute cut-off line, and then it completely changed. And then I was in on with everything, So we would be in lockers at school swapping, vinyl, singles, coloured vinyl and stuff like that, with the Buzzcocks and just all those bands that we were lucky enough to have around, the Skids. Richard Jobson, he's a good friend of mine now, as it goes over the years. He was on tour with us a couple of years ago. And we were talking about this, saying what a great period it was going through, And I just thought that really I was hooked. I was lucky enough to, they'd have a disco that nearby. And, you go and get a bottle of cider and listen to the Vapors or the Jam. And it was just a great time. And I don't see that in youngsters today. I don't see that sort of musical thing come along, a big sweeping wave come along and wipe everything out, exciting times they were.
Yeah, I think the 70s were definitive times as well, because
very much.
We come out of the 60s and got some great music that was a hangover from the 60s.
Yeah.
And then we kind of got like the glam rock and punk and two-tone almost swept everything away, changed the horizons, and the Boomtown Rats and Top of the Pops, and there was so much stuff going on. We'd go to school with probably clippy-clop shoes and flares. By the time we've left, we was like in tonic suits, Harringtons, and the look and the image was almost as important as the music. And you could
definitely
buy vinyl anywhere, couldn't you? It was great time to grow up. Now you grew up in the south by the sea.
Yeah.
By the way, how's your boat? Is your boat still okay?
Yeah.
Is it still float?
Very good. Still floating.
That storm didn't do too much damage.
No, it's always important to check on the boat, but the boat's still there. Yeah, thanks. Yeah.
So growing up, what was a young Russell Hastings like? You lived on a council estate.
Yeah, lived on
that council estate, and probably you got more out of it than what your neighbours did.
Yeah, I was lucky, and because it sort of taught me how to mix with other people, really. Like, because we used to go out, like you see things. You go out in the morning at school holidays, go across all the fields that were over the fences, and then come back late at night and playing knockdown ginger, and having great times, really, and learning. And of course, I got into I was into skateboarding when I was young.
Oh, right.
And so I became I was British champion, 1979, and I used to skateboard down the Avon Road in Cannock, of all places, where my nan and granddad used to live. That's actually the house when I heard Eaton Rifles for the first time. And round their house on their gramophone little record player, and I put it on, and I just constantly listened to Eaton Rifles, and was addicted.
I was driving here to the studio tonight. Birmingham traffic, I suppose, like any traffic, gets worse.
Yeah.
And I was thinking about the old gramophones. You'd have a gramophone, every front room would have a gramophone with a vinyl, and you'd play it. And it's almost with songs, you remember the moments when you first heard that. I mean, that was Jam's first top 10 hit, wasn't it? Eaton Rifles. And again, the look when they were on Top of the Pops, just quality. That Setting Sun's album, the track that really upped me into it was Little Boy Soldiers. I listened to that, I thought, fuck me, what a track. And I love the way that you were comparing Bohemian Rhapsody and the fact that they put songs
bolted it all
one
together.
Yeah.
Because that's how Rick told me how they recorded it. He said they recorded it in 4 sections and then sort of bolted it together, really. That's how it was done. And I remember watching them play it live, and it was just fucking spectacular. And it was just so fucking exciting to go to a Jam gig.
Yeah.
I mean, man, it's like nothing else I'd ever experienced, really. It used to really, because, you didn't have all of that social media stuff, that instant gratification. You know, when the band come on stage, they blew you away for an hour and a half, and then they fucked off, and then you didn't see them again for another 6 months, you know, a year maybe. And the energy was just, and then you didn't have, in those days, you never had the barriers, so you could be right up the front, you know, because there weren't no crush barriers or anything like that, or no security. Well, but there was some there, but you know, but it was, the energy was like nothing else I've ever experienced at a jam gig.
That's what the jam was all about, though. And I guess in a way that's why Paul famously in '82 unjammed the Jam at the height of their powers. 3 straight in at number 1. Start got to number 3 and then went to number 1. 4 number 1s. I mean, just phenomenal success. And then I've had enough. I'm packing it in. At the age of 24, I think George Best was the same when he packed in football. I think when you get geniuses, because I mean Weller is a genius, they want to do something else. And I suppose if he was to, I mean, he does have a nod back in his gigs to jam songs, but he wants to move on, and that's in the past. He's a modernist, isn't he? He just wants to keep.
He just wants to do, and that's absolutely, you know, his prerogative. You know, it's just. You know, I totally get it. I totally get that that's what he wants to do. I really do. I really understand that. I think because it's like somebody saying to me, knocking on the door now and asking me if I want to come out and have a game of marbles, I suppose. You know, that's how Paul looks at it. Yeah. You know, because I know that Paul likes to look forward. Yeah. And it's like also some of the bands that I've been in the past, somebody says, "Oh, you should get back together with them for a few gigs." And I go, "Why? Why would I want to do that? It wouldn't give me any pleasure." No. You know what I mean? So I fully understand that. Yeah, I get it.
Going to ask you some random questions. Oh, by the way, I love the chat and the tune. I love it just when you get the guitar, either you're on a boat and talking about it, or you're in your living room, your studio, etc., whatever, and you just get out, you play a tune, and then you start talking about it. I love the randomness, and I love the honesty that you have. I love the connection that you've got. Social media is really good because you can connect, but it's a right bitch as well, because there's some people you'd probably rather not connect with.
Yeah, you've nailed it there. It's a very toxic. I was talking to somebody this morning, funnily enough, that's got, I think they've got something like 690,000 followers, and they had the biggest. They're a big sports presenter, and he said it's just so toxic. You know, and it is. Social media is toxic.
Tell me about it.
You know, and I haven't really got a lot of time for it, but I sort of treasure my own little Instagram thing because it's very manageable. Yeah. And I personally run that, and it gives me something to sort of connect with people with. Do you know what I mean? And I do feel that it's important. And when I pick the guitar up and play a song, and I've been playing mostly stuff that I've written over the last few years, and of course a few jam songs, it's been for my pleasure as much as anybody else's, really. And also I like to sort of talk about it, really. I found it sort of cathartic, really. So sort of where I've been in my headspace lately, it's been quite good for me. Yeah.
What's your favourite sandwich filler?
Oh, blimey, there's a question.
We do some bad things.
When I'm playing golf, I have egg, just egg on brown. There we go.
It's got to be brown, ain't it, with egg?
Yeah,
bit of cress as well.
No, they don't put anything as healthy as that in there.
I'm sure. Going back to the jam, because we're going to be dipping in and out. What's the most difficult jam song that you've performed, or are they all kind of a similar?
Strange Town's got some funny timing structures with it. Yeah, definitely. You got to be on the ball with that one because there's a lot of movement. There's a lot of timing structures that change. I think that's I'm going for that. Strange Town.
got to kind of link here to Australia as well, because you are going to Australia.
Yeah.
On one of the lines, Paul, like, be kind to queers.
Yeah.
And you're going to Australia. There's a great story at Bondi Beach where I'd like you to just recall that when
Yeah, we were all
Baywatch.
we decided to go down to, as you do when you're in there, because you're not in there for long.
Yeah.
And we all decided to go down to Bondi. It was well, you've got to go to Bondi, haven't you? You know, you've got to go there. And then we all trudged down there, and everybody's in their Union Jack t-shirts, and I wasn't. I was more, you know, Baywatch, but you know, Dave, who was playing secondary guitar at the time, he caught a bit too much sun. And so that night he's come in the dressing room, and his just fucking nose is as red as you can, like Rudolph's. And he had this great big sort of like Nelson, somebody said he like Nelson Mandela shirt on, and like really leery red shirt. And we all just looked round at him and just cracked up before we went on stage. And we had to delay going on stage because we were all laughing so much. It was just, they said, well, we can't hold it any longer. I said, well, you can't, because look at the state of everyone around us. There was Rick and Bruce and myself, all just cracked up, and Dave as well. He saw the funny side to it, you know. But it was that was a very tiring, grueling tour, that was. Yeah. I remember it well.
And you did say to the guy who was kind of like a lifeguard thingy there.
Oh, yeah.
Not a bad job, is that, mate?
No, I said, it's not a bad job, this, mate, is it? And then Rick was standing next to me as well. And Rick Ambrose, actually. I said to the fella, I said, not a bad job, that, mate, is it? He went, yeah, who'd be a puff, mate? And it's like non-PC to tell that these days, but that's what happened, you know. But he was saying it in the, you know, in the context that it was, you know, meant, and I understood it.
Well, you're looking around and you're looking at all these beautiful girls, and you're just thinking, fucking hell. Yeah. You know, bit of window shopping.
Yeah.
Smash the Clock. Where did the album cover and all the imagery come from? I think it's fantastic. The guitar through a clock. Says what it is on the tin, don't it?
Yeah, I came up with the idea of the clock, the guitar coming through the clock, and Tony Ladd, who does all our artwork, who's been brilliant. He's so amazing. He came up. He was going to photograph a real clock with it, and it coming through with the bass guitar coming through it, and but it's what's on the tin really. And it was about smashing any perception of or conception of what we should be doing. That's what Smash the Clock meant.
Yeah.
There was no reference at all to absolute beginners, as people have asked me over the years, you know, Rick smashing the clock. There was none of that. So yeah, it was the artwork is fantastic on it. He'd done a great job on it.
And we must say as well, because, you know, sadly we lost Rick. I mean, Rick was all part of our, Huey's your friend. To us Jam fans, he was one of the trio that we grew up absolutely loving. And he could do wonders eating an apple as well, couldn't he, Rick?
Yeah, he could eat a whole apple, and he could, you know, that was his party trick. And then, you know, he'd eat a whole apple, and he could eat or drink about 3 cups of coffee about that big, you know, that just as huge. But that was his party trick, and he'd eat the core, get down to the spindly bit, and he'd eat that as well, and that was his party trick. Well, one of them. That and more.
Yeah, because I mean, he was great with his hands. I mean, he's always like a drummer, great with his hands, but he was good with the woodwork, wasn't he? And that was another passion of Rick's.
Yeah,
he was a guest on one of our early shows many years ago. Yeah, and great guy. We had a great chat with him, talking about the old Jam days and the lion in the back of the Transit and stuff, and you know, happy days. And wearing those glasses, those iconic glasses that he wore in the early days of the Jam. They used to call him Blind Boy. They thought he was blind.
Yeah,
you know, but just some great memories. Now the time has come for me.
Right,
that is a #1 song on every planet in this universe.
Thank you, sir.
It's one of my favourite records of all time. I think
Wow,
it's
that's wonderful for you to say that. Thank you.
mm,
That was about me growing up, really, and
yeah,
having taken responsibility for myself. And because it's no secret that I used to cane it and
mm,
the drink and the drugs, and then I got sober 28 years ago, and so that was in reference to now the
yeah.
time has come, and the time had come. There was there was an epiphany moment in my life, and it come when I was 31, and yeah, and that's what that song's about. And I had the idea, I had the melody um, long before I wrote the song, really, and then was kicking it around for a while, and it turned out really good. I was really pleased with it, really pleased.
Because there are songs, music, lyrics, songs that sometimes don't fit into an album, but then you put it on another album, don't you? Because there's songs that you're thinking doesn't quite fit in that, but it fits in that. I think all your songs fit in all of your albums. The Foxton and Hastings, which was the only one that you actually got a reference to, didn't it,
Well,
on the Butterfly Effect?
on the latter versions of Smash the Clock, they put my name on
Got
it
ya.
because Bruce phoned up the record company and said, "Let's put Russell's name on now." And so the Butterfly Effect, that was done through COVID.
Yeah.
Real, it was recorded as just sort of as we were gradually unlocking, and we all had to take a test before we all went in the studio and stuff like that. But that was a pleasure to record that album, The Butterfly Effect, and I'm very proud of most of those tracks on there.
That was done in the Leveler studio, wasn't it?
It was, yeah, over in Brighton at the Metway Studios in Brighton at Levelers, yeah,
And
yeah.
the
With
night, I
Al
will,
Scott was the producer.
I'll prove that because there's no disc in there because
Okay,
it's in my car. I'm listening to it coming over. It's in my car. That's a nice
great,
thing about CDs. You can play them in your car. That's what I love
yeah,
about Spotify. I can play it while I'm working. You can't put
right.
an LP into your car. And
No,
I haven't got a record player these days, so I do like
no meaning.
to buy the CDs. But on the inside, actually, on the CD, it is a blue butterfly, isn't it? Whereas on the album, the cover of it, it's like 2 needles and 4 picks.
Yeah, that's right. It's 4 picks, and they're actually strings, guitar strings. They are
Okay.
the antennae on the
How
front cover.
how come a butterfly on the CD and then that on the cover? Is that because it was a butterfly effect, and that's what the album cover is saying?
No, I think that was
Mm.
all down to Tony's.
Got ya.
That was his thing.
Genius.
We just left him and let him get on with it, and he's so fucking good. He's amazing.
At Boar's we make game day entertaining elevated and effortless. Whether you order catering platters ahead from your local deli or create your own spread with premium deli meats and cheeses, you're sure to impress your guests with the very best. Fan favorites like Oven Gold Turkey, paired with our classic Vermont cheddar, are sure to score big. Game-winning flavor in every bite. Boar's Head, committed to craft since 1905.
Ah, DSW, birthplace of the humble brag. Here, the shoes are so good, no one would ever know how little you paid. If you didn't go telling everyone, that is. And with never-ending options for every style, mood, and occasion, all at really great prices, we'll definitely give you something to brag about. So go ahead, stock up on fresh sneakers from your favorite brands. Or try those boots you always secretly knew you could pull off. Find the shoes that get you at prices that get your budget at DSW stores or DSW.com.
Favourite record on that album? The only problem I have, being 61 now,
Right.
shortly, November the 23rd, I can't pick up the bloody white writing on the blue
Oh no,
background.
man.
All
No.
the butterflies have all got the song with your butterfly. Have you got a favourite song from that album? And also, have you got a favourite butterfly? Mine's a Red Admiral.
Mine's a Red Admiral as well. Funny enough, but have I got a favourite track on that album? You mean?
Yeah.
I mean, Lula's. I'm proud of that. You know, that's a good track. I think I tell you what. What's the first track on there called?
Electric Lover.
Yeah, Electronic Lover.
Electronic Lover. Yeah.
Yeah, that's I'm right. You know, I listened to that and I listened to the bottom end in it, and I think the fucking groove on it as well. It was happening at the time there. It was really was. You know, I remember Mark Brzezicki was on drums on that, and it was just such a good day recording that. But there's quite a few tracks on that I'd have to have it in front of me to be able to see what was on it.
I've literally got it now on Spotify, because that's what I like about Spotify. I can see it clearer on Spotify. Electric Lover, Feet Off the Ground, Lula. She Said, that is fucking tuneful.
Oh, yeah, She Said's a good track. Yeah. I'm very sort of travelling Wilburys. Wanted's good because I wrote that about my wife. And,
Circles, fucking banging. I'm having that. That is tremendous.
Great.
I love the way that you was, Tom on your side, phenomenal. What was the theory behind that? Because you got Time on your side and then Too Old to Cry and like Too Young to Die. Sounded like two different sides of the same coin. Was there any relation to that?
I think what it was when we cut from memory, when we sent it off to be mastered, there was too many tracks on it.
Right.
For vinyl. And so we had to cut a couple of tracks out on the vinyl version.
Yeah,
because otherwise the quality declines.
Yeah.
And so we left them in on the CD, but on the vinyl we cut two off. And we cut I think fucking sacred is might have cut Circles off it. It was just the way that it was like an emergency phone call that we got one day, and we had to make an on the spot decision, you know, and that's what happened.
Because again, that's the one thing that CDs do give you. They do give you a little bit more scope, don't you?
Yeah.
To put more tracks on there, whereas like with the LP, it's a certain length that the LP has to be.
Yeah, I think it's like 38 minutes or 41 minutes is maximum that you can get, something like that. Otherwise, the quality really declines.
Going back to sound effects, which, again, I think all of the Jam's albums are iconic. I love Non-Stop Dancing from In the City album. I just thought that was, and Bricks and Mortar and one or two others. I mean, In the City, I think all of his songwriting, all of his songs are fantastic. But the only song that all the boys get a kind of reference on is Music for the Last Couple, which has a wonderful sound effect. Is it a fly or a wasp? Sounds like a blue bottle.
It was a fly. It was one that Rick trapped in a glass in the studio, and they mic'd it and walked up to it and then took the glass away, and I heard it buzzing.
Did they ever catch the fly?
He's probably around somewhere.
Because
probably worth a few quid.
Gerd Muller and Franz Beckenbauer used to try and catch flies when they were rooming together. When you're on tour and you're rooming, did you do like mad things like that?
No, we don't twin up. We've always got our own rooms, so it would be nothing interesting. Just usual. Bang the telly on, jump into bed, and go to sleep. Really, could be fucked.
How much more difficult is it getting older to perform Jam songs, more the Jam? And as a fan watching both from the Jam and Weller, I think, thank fuck you've put a slow track on now, because we're absolutely knackered dancing around. You on stage must be absolutely shattered, as you've just alluded to.
Well, I found it harder in the last couple of years physically through the day. On stage, I don't find it so hard, but I find the traveling and I find the late nights harder as I've got older, and as I've hit 60 this year. It was a big part. I've got to be honest, hitting 60 wasn't fun.
No, I agree.
I was grateful to get there, but I really thought, fucking hell, man, I'm looking behind me thinking I'm talking about somebody else, you know, and it's just, and it's tough throughout the day. And I find that especially when you got some big long travel days,
Mm.
But on stage, I'm lucky enough that my vocal range still can handle some of the high stuff. Because as your vocals get old, as you get older, it's harder for your vocals to get those high notes out. But I'm lucky I can still hit reasonably high notes. Yeah,
Because your bones start fusing and everything starts going wrong after
everything
about,
fucking starts going wrong.
And I remember Geldof saying once in a concert, the only thing about getting old is sometimes you're proved fucking right. And I thought, well, that's not really a trade-off, if I'm honest, Bob. I'd rather have my youth back again. I think
sure.
you kind of like stop having birthday parties and candles on your cake.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's like a fire brigade turn up, don't they, when you start fucking lighting them. But, there you go. If you could travel back in time to one year in your life, what year would it be and why? Any year and you're 60.
Any year and I'm 60. I'm going to say
60, yeah.
Probably 2006.
Okay.
No,
Germany.
that was because my boy would go fucking nuts if I said he was born in 2006. But my youngest one, I think it was 2004 he was born. But that was really when it really was exploding with Rick and Bruce and we were all, starry-eyed and it was all exciting and it was all glamorous and it was all, there was a lot of prospect and I didn't know what was around the next corner and I thought it was just 2006 I think I'll go for, because there's a lot out of those 59 years you've just given me. I've got to pick one and that's the one I'm going for.
How did you feel the first, because Bruce went and joined you on stage once then, as you said, alluded to, it did come out organically that the three of you teamed up and, you were already called from the Jam, but Bruce joined you on stage. That first gig that you actually played from the Jam, when you looking back and you've got Rick on drums, you've got like Bruce on bass. How did you feel doing that gig?
I remember it now, the hairs on the back of my neck. I had to really keep hold of it, because it was the first time I'd sound check with Bruce and Rick in the afternoon and thought, fucking hell, just can't believe this. But, with Bruce, his thunderous bass, the way that he plays, there's no better bass player in my eyes. I mean, of course, there's different ones out there, but Bruce is just such a phenomenal bass player. And the way that he plays it's a personalized thing. And it was so exciting. I remember it so well. I came home with a flyer that night, all signed to my boys, my two kids, and a memory. And I put a memory on the back of it the very first night, And it was like what you would imagine it would be. That's what it was like.
And again, I'm guessing from a massive fan as you are, even if it was just for one night only, you're going, I'm fucking having that and I don't care.
Yeah, it was, we didn't know that it was going to continue. Yeah. It was just the next day that I got a phone call the next day and it was Bruce. And he phoned me up. He said, look, I've got to tell you how much I enjoyed last night. I'd like to be involved in more. And that was it. And he said, let's have a meeting with you and Rick and Dave, and that's what we did, with no managers around or anything. And we said, we just came up and said to each other, are you in? Are you in? Are you in? And we all went, yeah. And then we made it sort of happen, really. We went and started to make it happen.
Because Paul was the original bass player in the Jam.
He was, that's right, yeah.
Do both, so Bruce come and took on the bass. You throw in a number of your personal babies into from the Jam sets, been massively well received. Are there any thoughts, because you've got new management now, and I know you can't say too much, there's lots of stuff that's in the can, but to go out and tour your albums and maybe another album as well, because I think you should.
Well, I'd like to. Yeah, I'd really like to.
Or
And it's just a
stripped
case.
back.
Come to DSW for the shoes, stay for the fun. Because let's be honest, if shoe shopping isn't fun, are you even doing it right? So go ahead, try something new. Try something different. Good different. Try something that feels like you. You know, the real you. And then definitely brag about it later. Because at DSW, you've got unlimited freedom to play. With sneakers, boots, and everything in between for every style, mood, and occasion, you'll definitely find shoes that get you at prices that get your budget. DSW. Let us surprise you.
Yeah, well, we've had many thoughts about doing maybe a one-off at the 100 Club in London, and then say, but there would be a lot of rehearsals for a one-off. So then you think, well, fucking hell, I've got to rehearse, loads of material. So I think if we just gradually bring those songs about, like we've got Circles is in the set at the moment, and so also playing Shopping. From the jam days, and there's a track called Feet Off the Ground which we play. Pictures and Diamonds we're playing. Lula, Number 6 will come in there as well. So I don't want to sort of change it about too much and piss everybody off who's come to see and hear jam songs, but I think it's only right to be proud of that stuff and to play it live, because it feels good for me, because it feels authentic, and it just gives it a little bit more credibility, if that's the right word. I don't
definitely,
know.
I mean, these are songs that should be played loud and played at gigs, and I suppose it's only the same as if you're like, I've been to many, I don't harp on too much with Paul, but he'll play stuff, his new stuff, and the fans, you can see him round you getting pissed off because they want to hear jam songs, and he's like, fuck it, I'm playing my new stuff, if you like it, you like it. And it just seems as though he's a guy that actually does not give a fuck. He just does what he likes to do. And you seem to be cut of the same cloth. You just go and you do it. If you like it, you like it. If you don't, well, fuck off. I ain't bothered.
Yeah, we don't cut. That's it. There's no point in sitting there complaining about it. Like I said the other day, people are dying in the world, and it really is as simple as that. You either come and dig what's going on, or fucking stay at home, or go somewhere else. Go and watch somebody else. It doesn't matter. It's there's bigger things in the world going on, than to worry about what I'm doing.
Absolutely. I do another podcast with a football legend and hero of mine, Alan Hudson.
Okay.
And Uddy we always talk about management. He also we always talk about management. And I've learned through Alan the importance of management. And you've got a great manager on board as well. So let's indulge a little bit in your new manager, Mr. Alan McGee.
Yeah, me and Alan have been friends since we cut the Smash the Clock album, actually. Yeah. And it turns out we got the same sort of history in our colourful world. And we've been very good friends for a long time. And we've always kept it that way. And we've always there's a great story that McGee turns around and says, he had the opportunity because he brought Wilco down to the studio, you see, and he knew he was coming down to Paul's, and he thought, fucking great, I can meet Bruce Foxton, but I don't want to meet that new lead singer. And that's what he says, and he talks about this in podcasts.
We've lost you.
He said, have you?
I've lost.
Have you?
You're all right.
I'm still back now.
Yeah, you're back, mate.
So he says, I didn't want to meet the lead singer. I wasn't fucking interested in him. Who does he think he is? And he didn't know me. And he said, and within 2 minutes, you won me over. He said, and we fucking like the best of brothers. And so the opportunity came. My manager over the last sort of year has wanted to take more of a back seat. So I let McGee know, and he contacted me, said, get yourself up to London, come up to the agency, and let's sit round and chat. And so he's got me back. I couldn't have anybody better than him in the world.
Because sometimes you need that to re-energise you, don't you? You look at and focus on a different way, going down a different path.
Sure.
Your next year, it's going to be I'm guessing a bigger From the Jam situation, because he's got a number of bands as well, and it looks as though really something magical is going to happen. I'm not saying like Britpop when it happened, and I think Paul hates that fucking word, but there was a number of guitar-based bands that were having it at a certain time, and I think the time is now for those bands to kick back.
Yeah, I'd agree. I heard that comment the other day, actually. Somebody else said that it's something very similar. And I'd have to agree with that. Something's got to change. Yeah. That's for sure. You know, something's got to change. And because, you know, everybody's rehashing, you know, older bands that were around, it proves that there's a desperate need for some new young blood, you know. And I totally agree with it.
And I think there's a load of young blood about. It's just the fact that the radio stations won't play their material, which is a bit of a problem, which we used to get radio airplay back in the day, Top of the Pops, etc., etc. But these days, I mean, there's fuck all really in that. Global own everything. Bauer, I think, is still going. They own the other, BBC, etc. I think Jules Holland's got a show, and that's about it. There's no the Tube. There's nothing. There's no something else. There's senses of summer. I love that anecdote that you was talking about with Paul, because with musicians, like with footballers, sometimes they actually don't want to talk about music. They just want to talk about other things. And it's a lovely situation where I'm listening, watching you talking, and you were just talking about summers of the past. You don't like winter. You're not a winter person.
No,
I hate the winter. It's dark. It's wet. It's fucking horrible. I love the summer. And you were just reminiscing about summers of the past and senses of summer.
Yeah. Well, when we were recording that, me and Paul were talking about, he said, is it just our memory that we've got selective memory? Because we were talking about summers were better in those days than they are now, you know, more reliable summers. You know, you get a spring, a summer and a good autumn. And I had to think, is that right? You know, but my memories of summer were like aeroplanes, distant aeroplanes in the sky, cut grass, you know, my memories of it. In fact, I think I wrote the lyrics to that on a plane on the way to Egypt, on a holiday to Egypt. I wrote the lyrics for that. I did. That's exactly what I did. Yeah.
Favourite holiday destination then? What part of it did you go? Sharm el Sheikh, or did you?
No, I went up north, up near, what was it called? You can't really go there now.
Oh, right.
Because it's a bit sort of dangerous around there.
There's a lot of places that are a bit.
But it was the first time I'd ever been there. It's the first and only time I've ever been there. Yeah.
Oh, right. What is your favourite holiday destination? Where would Russell Hastings be taking his family to? Thailand, I'm guessing.
Because my son lives there now, my eldest son. And then Barbados is my favourite place. I've been lucky enough to go there for many years. And very lucky. And I love it there, and it's like a secondary home really when I go there. And it's funny, the house that I stay in, or we used to stay in, and that I actually got married in last year, was next door. Nick Mason's bought it from Pink Floyd, and so Nick Mason, I was at a party and Nick Mason was coming through, and I was just chatting to Nick Mason like you do.
Yeah.
You know, and you know, and he still fucking looks great for his age. You know, he's like 82 and he's still having it, you know, he's still doing it, still on the road, you know.
I mean, he should be a brickie, really, shouldn't he? Not the brick in the wall there, Nick.
He should be. He looks like one.
And one of your songs is about Sandy Lane, isn't it? Instrumental.
It is, and it was a hidden one because it's called 50 Yards Down Sandy Lane, and I wrote it on my 50th birthday. That's exactly what it was, and I wanted to disguise it. I thought, well, I can't really say it's about Sandy Lane in Barbados. It's going to sound real wanky, that is. And so I thought, I'll put 50 yards down Sandy Lane, so 50 years, and I'm down Sandy Lane. I get down the golf club. We were playing golf with the boys, and that's how that came about. Yeah.
There's one round the back of Birmingham in Bromsgrove as well, a Sandy Lane, but I don't think the restaurants are as expensive as the ones in Sandy Lane, are they?
Sure. No, that's right. I agree.
Have you ever tasted any of their food in Sandy Lane at those ridiculous prices?
Well, I've been lucky enough to be guested up there.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
yeah,
got
yeah.
but they guested to come up and have lunch and with the family and that. So I sort of knew the owner really, and yeah,
So, how's the
lucky.
water park going? You're going to go over there next year, aren't you?
Yeah,
Because you tour in
I am.
Australia. You've got quite a
Yeah,
few tours, festivals, gigs, etc. So it'd be
yeah.
great to walk up. The young one's getting married out there, isn't he?
He is on the 16th of July. Yeah, yeah. He's just having it away out there at the moment. He's got this big water park that he's picked up that had run into the ground and that he's rehashed, and they're opening in about 6 weeks' time. So he's under a lot of pressure.
Mm.
So he was telling me on the phone yesterday. But yeah, we're going to fly in there. I'm going to leave New Zealand and fly straight into there for my son's wedding on the 16th. Yeah. So I won't be a mood, like I said the other day, because I
Exactly.
suffer from jet lag. I won't be a
Yeah.
moody bastard because
But it does get you, don't it?
oh, it does get me bad. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think it gets everybody, and you're going to be on the same timeline. So, like,
Yeah.
happy days.
Yeah.
Gigs, festivals coming up. You've got quite a few.
Yeah.
Um,
And then, of course, the spring tour that starts in May in
yeah.
Edinburgh and it finishes in Birmingham on the, what is it? You've got your list there.
It's certain. Everything is on my head. I don't do anything
Well
from a
done.
script. I don't like scripts. I always say to Woody, we just go with little notes and we just go
Right.
wherever we go. We don't know if we're going to Stoke, Chelsea, Arsenal, or wherever. And that's the way I like to conduct things.
Right.
If you could replay a gig that you've played
Yeah.
through your time, could be
Yeah.
as a kid, could be from the Jam, could be from anything, the gift, whatever. What gig would you like to replay and why?
The Ritz in Manchester, May the 24th this year. It was two notches above everything. The crowd were fucking right up for it. It was amazing and I loved it. There you go. That's my solid answer to that one. I've got a load of others, but
Yeah, yeah.
that one's in the can. That one.
Memory bank.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Does Russell Hastings cook?
Not really.
No, you don't like cooking. But do you
No.
swim? Are
Yeah,
you
I
a swimmer?
swim. Yeah. Swim off. Yeah,
Which is
I
going to be
do.
fucking handy in Thailand, isn't it? Because you'd be a
It
bit of a
is.
bastard if you don't. Russ,
Yeah.
it's been an absolute pleasure and an honour, sir.
Thank you.
Before we go, let's just talk about the pictures on the wall. I'm loving your 70s like lamp. My missus would like that as well.
Yeah.
Your guitar, what guitar is that? I'm not
That
a musician.
okay. That's a Waterstone guitar. So Bob Singer, who was a sponsor in America, he's actually a brain surgeon. He owns a guitar company,
Nice.
and I wrote number 6 on that
Fabulous.
on that actual guitar. That's what I wrote it on.
And then the big Jam badge. What's that in the
Yep.
corner, boy? Is that a cuddly toy there?
The dog. Yeah, it's a dog. I don't know what that's doing in here.
What's the picture? Talk us through your pictures.
Well, what next to it?
Yeah.
I think that's me skateboarding
Fantastic.
years
Did you
ago.
break many bones was you in the A&E
No.
all the time?
Yeah, on my wrists.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would sprain wrists all the time. But lucky I didn't ever break any bones. But I'm paying for it these days when I get up in the morning.
Really, being the musician and being like, the guitarist and that, skateboarding and breaking risks, does that come back and haunt you on cold nights?
Yeah, it does on the hands.
Yeah.
Sometimes I get, like almost like that repetitive strain in my thumb, and my left hand. But I guess, back injuries and you pay for all that down the line, don't you? But I'd never stop doing it. I fucking loved it. It was to give me a thrill.
And then you've got obviously your 3 albums there, one on vinyl and then your 2 CDs. What's the others on your back wall there, Russ?
Well, I'll show you one of them up there. Is that up there?
That's loads. Go on.
That's there you go.
Okay, Bo.
That is some wall, that is, isn't it?
And then I have a little turn around to that
That's fantastic.
piano.
Oh, lovely.
Woody.
And that's a very rare poster that Bruce designed. gave to me, and Paul signed that up there. Look.
So does Bruce design stuff as well? Is he
arty? He was a printer.
Oh, right. Oh, so Bruce is a prince then, and so he
It
does.
was. He did. He worked for Unwin's, the printers, and so when they were doing, when you saw the gap at the bottom of it, it said appearing at, and they'd fill it in.
Oh, right.
And say wherever they were. So Bruce designed all the artwork in the early days and printed it all, and did it all for nothing.
Fantastic.
And I love the colour of your walls. Is that like a kind of black or a dark brown or something?
It's a dark blue. I'm colourblind, so Well,
oh, you're
it's
really colourblind.
Yeah,
Oh,
right. Yeah, totally. Yeah, I'm colourblind. So it looks when I put it on, I thought, fucking hell, it's black. but it looks dark blue to me. But
it looks fucking cool to me. It looks superb.
Okay, thank you.
You're blending well. Can I thank you so much for your time, Russ? It's been an absolute
Thank you, my
blast.
pleasure. Thank you so much.
Let's keep in touch, and good luck with all the touring. You're doing the sound effects tour as we're speaking. I mean, you're not there obviously on stage now, but you have got dates that you fill in. Audiences coming to watch you, and I'm sure that they'll be just as vocal and boisterous as those in Manchester. Wish you all the very best, and love to Bruce and the family. And
sure.
Thanks, mate. Really appreciate your time.
Thanks so much. Really appreciate it. Nice one.
Lovely. Thanks, Russell.
Cheers now. Thanks then. Bye now. Bye.
Guys. Cheers. Thank you.
Bye. Thanks a lot.
Cheers now.
Holiday scammers are smart, but you're smarter. From AI-generated deepfakes to urgent payment requests, scammers are finding new ways to trick even the most careful holiday shoppers. Scams can start anywhere, a text, email, or social post, and quickly evolve to schemes designed to steal your money or information. Scammers might pose as charities, pet sellers, or even a romantic partner to gain your trust. If something feels off, it probably is. Keep your guard up, pause before you pay, and always pay it safe. Protect yourself by using strong passwords and turning on two-factor authentication. Check messages only through official channels and be cautious with unexpected or urgent requests. If you spot suspicious activity, contact verified support. This holiday season, the Financial Technology Association, in partnership with Cash App, PayPal, and Venmo, want to help you stay one step ahead. For more tips, visit smarterthanscams.org. Scammers lie, you verify.
When the flu is keeping you up at night, don't try to tough it out. Knock out your flu symptoms with NyQuil Intense Flu. You got this. It provides powerful relief of your flu symptoms so you can sleep well through the night. NyQuil Intense Flu. The nighttime sniffling, aching, fever, best sleep with a flu medicine. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.